This week, we're going to expand on lessons I've been teaching over the last few weeks. So we're going to learn groove and fill applications of compound stickings and rudiments. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, it's an all-new ChopHouse. Let's do this. Okay, so we're going to back up a little bit this week, take it a little bit light for this first one. And what we're going to do is I'm going to play 4/16 notes, and I'm going to add the bass drum to the first note in 4/16 notes, so beat 1 or the quarter note, the E of the 4/16, then the and then the and I'll play hands for the other 3 notes. All right, and this has some alternation to it. So for me, I will be playing kick, right, left, right, okay? And then I will alternate because when I'm playing 16th notes, I'm more comfortable leading with my left hand. So the second note in is the E, and that would fall on my right hand. Of course, the and of the beat is going to fall on my left hand, and the is going to fall on my right hand. So I'll be sort of alternating that way through those approaches. And I'm going to take you once again through kind of a grid of this. So it's going to be an exercise where you don't stop, you just repeat. And the way that I'm going to make it through this so that I can put the bass drum on the 1 E and an is I'm going to add single strokes, one single stroke to it, which makes it switch. Makes your foot switch from the first note to the second note, and then the second to the third, and the third to the fourth. Okay? So I'll run it as a drill. All right? And I recommend that you run these as a drill. And it takes a little bit of creativity, or a little bit of thought anyway, just as to how you're going to create a drill out of it so that you don't have to stop. And the way that I just explained is the way that you do it for this. All right? Then I'm going to go into doubles. So 2 notes in the hand and 2 notes in the feet, but I'm also going to put those on every note or every permutation in a 4-note phrase. So it'll be 1 E with the hands, and then and with the foot, and then 1 E and 1 E and, like that, and then and 1 E and then 1 E and 2 E and like that. All right. So I know that's a lot of explanation, but I'll break it down for you, or you can see the example of it to get it that way. I'll do it in 16th notes, and then I'm going to take that same 4-note phrase and do it in triplet. All right. So both 3 notes with the hands and 1 with the foot, and then 2 notes with the hand and 2 notes with the feet. All right. And we'll do it that way. So if that's enough explanation, let's just do it. Okay, 1 note in the foot, 3 notes in the hands, bass drum starting on the first note, and without stopping, I will move the bass drum throughout the entire permutation of 1 E and all right, and then to loop it, I'll play a double bass drum to bring me back to the bass drum on 1, and so I'll loop it once, all right? At 80 beats a minute, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here's the same thing at 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and here's the one, same thing at 160. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now I'm going to go through single notes again in the foot, a 4-note phrase, so 1 in the foot, 3 notes with the hands, and I'm going to play it in triplet, okay? And so this kind of approach, of course, isn't going to be square to the bar anymore, because it's 3 notes in a beat, but you have a 4-note phrase, so that's going to carry a beat over. All right, the best way to switch in this, and the way that I'll do it, is to play the 3 notes, or the 4-note phrase, so 1 in the foot, 3 with the hands, and then on the 4th time that I play it, I'm going to play 2 feet, and then play the hands, and that will move it forward on the triplet grid, all right? So I'll show you what that looks like, and once again I'll do it at 80, 120, and 160, all right? So here we go with that. Okay, 1 note in the foot, 3 notes in the hands in triplets, and I will switch with the bass drum every 3rd 4-note phrase, okay? At 80 beats a minute, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1 note in the foot, 3 notes in the hands at 120, switching every 3rd 4-note phrase. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and lastly at 160, 1 note in the bass drum, 3 notes in the hands, switching with a double bass drum every 3rd 4-note phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, finally now we're going to do 2 notes in the hands, 2 notes with the feet. I'm going to play 3 hands, which will move the progression along the grid and change where I place the doubles. So I'll show you what that looks like. Once again, 80, 120, and 160. All right, here we go. Okay, this is doubles at 80 beats a minute, running through the entire grid. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is doubles at 120, running through the entire grid. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and doubles at 160, running the entire grid. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, moving on to doubles. In triplet, I'm going to play 2 hands and 2 feet at 80 beats a minute, and I'm just going to play it around the toms until it resolves back to 1. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, 3, 4. Okay, now at 120, I will play the same thing. 2 hands, 2 feet in triplets. And I will just play it until it resolves back to the snare drum, and I'll loop it once. All right? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and lastly, doubles at 160, looping it once. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and lastly, I'm just going to give you kind of an example of playing this in real time at 140. I'll probably play more doubles than anything else, but it'll give you an idea of how to move this around the kit and how to play it in a groove context. All right, here we go. Okay, that about does it for this week. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope it's explanatory, self or otherwise. And if it isn't, you guys can absolutely do like I've said in the past. You can hit me up on Skype. You can private message me however you want to get a hold of me, and we can set something up that way. Next week, I'm going to show you a cool idea with the Radimacue, which is one of the rudiments of the 84 that I played last week. Okay? So if you guys don't mind, like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. I appreciate you all. I thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't checked out Unsung, I should say that. Stefano Valdo went up yesterday, and it's a great interview with a great guy and a tremendous friend of mine. So check that out. That's about it. I'll see you guys back here for another installment of the ChopHouse next week.